Welcome to Charts Today. My name is David Linton, and today's edition for Tuesday, the 11th of August, comes to you from London. And we see more green on the screen, so markets are increasingly taking the coronavirus fears in their stride. So, dollar index has been bullish the last few days, and we are just continuing that bull run, so we're looking quite good there. If we look at the euro dollar, of course, that conversely is bearish on that short-term chart below the cloud. Remembering, for those that are new to Charts Today, this is weekly, daily and 60-minute charts, my long-term, my medium-term and my short-term view, and the matching point and figure charts with targets. So we can see here that the euro has some downside targets, some 3% lower, so that is just coming off having had a very good run the last few months. The sterling chart, we're sitting at 130.75, so that is holding the 130 level, so fairly static against the dollar at the moment, but we are just slightly bearish there, and again dollar strength should rule this week. And sterling against the euro is looking stronger through the 111 area now, so sterling looking stronger against the euro. If we look at Bitcoin, we're sitting at $11,750. Not much change there overnight. We just got above $12,000 but couldn't hold that level, but the chart is looking bullish, so don't be surprised to see Bitcoin starting to run again. Looking at the S&P 500 index, we were up 0.27% last night. We're now just 1% from that February high, which would take us to an all-time high on the S&P, so the US stocks continuing to look strong. And of course the Nasdaq 100 index has been bullish and making new all-time highs, so again shaking off the virus. We're seeing the futures for the S&P up 1/3% this morning, and the Nasdaq E-mini up 1/3% as well. Does suggest that the US market will open slightly higher. The VIX volatility steady at 22. And in bearish mode here, not quite yet on the long-term chart, but we are seeing medium and short-term. The VIX falling, which is good for stocks. UK, the FTSE 100 future is up 1.23% this morning, and the DAX cash is up just over 1%, so that's looking stronger as well. And the CAC Current up 1.2%, so we're looking better there as well. So Europe, quite a strong showing. Japan was up 2.5%, so that's leapt into bullish territory on the short-term chart. Long-term, we are still pretty much in a downtrend, and the same is true of Hong Kong, up 1.8%, but still in a long-term downtrend. Chinese stocks actually retreated 1% overnight, but still bullish on all three time frames. And the Sensex in India was up 0.2%. Still has work to do to get through the long-term cloud position there, and the Aussie market was up a further 1.5%. Having had a very good day the day before. Taking a look at gold, we've really pulled back. We're just nudging the $2,000 mark at the moment, so we're short-term bearish on gold. That doesn't mean at all that we're bearish. The long-term charts are still very, very bullish, and this pullback has effectively locked this column, giving us a 53% upside if we can run higher than that high that we saw. Silver has also been very strong of late, up more than doubled in the last few months, but we are just seeing again a sell-off this morning, down nearly 4%. US 10-year yields sitting at 0.58%, so they're looking better on the short term, but medium and long term we're still bearish on the yield chart, of course. And we see tech was pretty much off. The tech majors were lower yesterday. Taking a quick look at the energy mix in Europe, we see crude oil is up 0.5%, sitting at $45.20 on Brent crude, holding on to that $45 mark, and the WTI sitting at 42.23, also just holding on to its levels. So crude oil still looking pretty good on the medium and short term. US nat gas has had an amazing run this week. We were touched 228. We couldn't quite get above there again yesterday. That's just put us into some short-term bearish territory with some downside targets, but the long-term picture is still pretty bullish for nat gas, especially if we can make new highs, of course. Coal is off. It couldn't quite get to the $60 mark, so we are seeing a fall away there in coal. Emissions looking much stronger, above the €27 mark, and that recovery, albeit quite slow, continues. The emissions chart is still bullish on the long-term chart. NBP had an amazing amazing week last week, up nearly 50%. So no surprise to see us falling there. We were neutral to clients yesterday. And TTF is falling off as well, having had an amazing week last week also. Winter gas is actually up at 11.83, so that's looking still like a long-term recovery and is holding on better than the front month contracts. And German power is holding 40 euros 50, needs to break that level to break out. An ascending triangle building, quite a bullish pattern with good upside targets. So keep an eye on the 1 minute charts, especially on your OTC data. That's it for today. Until tomorrow, happy charting. See you then.